Hey everyone, welcome to the 8BitCADE XL make video. We did make a few upgrades to the console, so a few steps have changed. If you're already started, don't worry, you can complete these steps at any point of the build. We are also working on a super exciting lesson platform on the new website we are building. Stay tuned if you prefer to build the XL with a more structured lesson approach. First, we will be installing the battery onto the backplate. The first thing you want to do is grab all the components you need. You need the backplate, the battery, and the double-sided sticky tape. Here you can see the backplate has a nice matte finish, but this is because it's still got the film. If you take the edge of your nail and start to peel at one of the edges or corners, you can see the film starts to sort of rise a little bit, and you can use that to actually grab it. Just like this, peel it off in one fluid motion. And now you can see it's a nice glossy appearance. Then you want to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Use the edge of your nail, dig at it a little bit, and it should, we're having some issues at the moment, but it should peel off like so. Beautiful, just like that. And you'll see it's super satisfying because it goes from matte to a nice glossy with no scratches at all. The next thing you want to do is grab the double-sided sticky tape and battery, and the battery will be inside a little plastic box that has a clip. So unclip that and take out the battery. Pick up the double-sided sticky tape, and you want to peel off one edge of the double-sided sticky tape that will have the adhesive on it, like so. So now we're taking the sticky side, and we're going to flip the battery over and put the sticky side on the plain side, which has no text, like so. Go ahead and put that on in the middle. The position doesn't matter too much on the battery side. Use your thumbs to push it down and make sure it's nice and secure. And now what's important is to get the locations. You can see the top left of the battery is just in line with the area where the header pins go. The bottom is in line with the bottom notch, like so. You want to make sure those are nice and perpendicular. And then the top right of the battery is just below that top circle, like so. Now once you've got that rough position, and you've confirmed it's correct with what we're showing on screen, you can go ahead and grab the battery, unpeel the sticky tape, and secure it into that position. It's really important you get this position correct, because if you don't, the battery can collide with the Pro Micro and some other components on the board when we finally assemble it. So make sure it is nice and in line. Here you can see we're just making sure it's aligned on the left, and now we're using that to align it on the right with that top circle. So I pause the video in this position and kind of copy this side. Here you can see the battery will be positioned on the right, so you want to make sure your back plate is also in the right orientation. You can see there's a little hole on the left, so make sure to firstly put your back plate in this position. You don't want to be sticking it on the other side. And there you go. That is a finished back plate. In this section, we're going to solder the JST connector onto the PCB board. The first thing you need to make sure is that you have all the parts. So as you can see, we've got the PCB board layout, and now we're going into the little bag that has all the components to get a white connector. You see it has two metallic pins on it, like so. And that is what we're actually going to solder onto the PCB board, and that is called a JST connector. We use that to connect our battery to the PCB board, so we can actually power up our console. Now, as you can see, we've got the buttons on our side, so we want to flip the PCB over, so you have that little white outline that looks like the JST connector, and you want to put those two metallic pins that we were talking about into the PCB like so. Push it down with your thumb and flip the board over, because that's the side that we want to solder on. So now we're going to do a bit of soldering. We're going to solder in these pins. So you want to go ahead and grab your soldering iron, like so, grab a bit of solder, apply the soldering iron onto one of the pins, heat it up for about 1 to 2 seconds, and put the solder onto the pin so it melts on. And remember, you want to keep it a nice volcanic shape. That's sort of it should be shiny and should be in a curved sort of shape. And now you can see we've done that for both pins. Now it is nice and soldered in. Now you want to grab your cutters and use your hand or a bit of cloth to cover that when you cut the pins, just for safety reasons. Now we'll cut the pins nice and flush like so, and now that is ready to move on. So just double check you've got the JST into the right position, pause the video and go ahead and solder that yourself.